would like to invite the next speaker, which is the first one to open, Rabbi Moshe David HaCohen. Rabbi is a co-founder of Amana, the Jewish-Muslim partnership of the Trust in Sweden, Malmö. Rabbi has built a unique model of collaboration and mutual understanding between the Jewish community and the Muslim community of Malmö. So first, I would like to thank you, Rabbi HaCohen, for inspiring us in the work that you do, and please, if you can open the floor today.
Thank you very much, Sasha, for all the important work that you're doing, and thank you to the organizers in having a positive event in a rare moment of positivity in very challenging days, and the polarization that we see throughout the world, which has come to its epicenter in a sense in Sweden. And in that sense, I welcome you to the troubles of the land of Sweden, but also hopefully share some of the positive outcomes that we have all seen with the work between the Muslim and Jewish communities. I'd also like to apologize, I won't be able to stay with you the entire event, as today is Tisha B'Av. It's a national day of mourning, which I will mention in my words, and I need to leave soon for our prayers. So I will begin, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. So as I mentioned, today is Tisha B'Av. It's the ninth day of Av, which is a day of fasting and mourning for the Jewish people, in which we commemorate the destruction of both temples in Jerusalem on this very day, as well as the persecution of the Jews as a minority group in the diaspora, which is a result of the exile from the Holy Land. This very morning, throughout the Jewish world, any synagogue that you would step into, you would see everyone sitting on the ground in mourning and reading lamentations that were composed throughout the period of 2,000 years in exile. One of them that I wish to bring to you today is actually called May the Burnt Torah Call Out in the Name of the Mourners. Written by the leading rabbi of Ashkenaz Jewry in the 13th century, it references the burning of the Talmud in Paris in 1242, an event which shook the Jewish nation to the core and is remembered and mourned until this day. This, unfortunately, was not the sole occurrence of the burning of the Torah or our sacred scriptures. Josephus Flavius, in his History of the War of the Jews against the Roman Empire, recalls how a Roman soldier found the sacred book, tore it into pieces, and threw it into the fire. This event nearly led to a rebellion by the Jewish people before this person was punished by the Roman commander of the land. The Talmud in Avodah Zarah 18a tells us an horrific story of how one of the leading sages, Rabbi Hanina ben Tradion, who opposed the Romans, was caught teaching Torah to his students. His punishment was that he was wrapped in the Torah scroll, put to fire with it, and burned to death. Due to our tragic history, we understand very well that the burning of books really is an act of hatred and nothing else. It is an attempt to create an otherness in society of those who hold the book sacred. As Nazi propaganda minister Joseph Goebbels clearly stated before the burning of thousands of Jewish books in 1933, he said that the era of extreme Jewish intellectualism is now at the end. In the past years, we in the Jewish community of Sweden have stood strong with the Muslim community. Since the provocateur Rasmus Paludan, this Danish guy, originally came in his first attempt in 2020, we were very active together with the Muslim community to work against and to combat that hatred. Back then, due to the joint efforts, he was gratefully denied entry to Sweden at the time. But he continued his efforts, and this last January in 2023, he went into geopolitics, putting a spotlight on himself. He received permission to burn the Quran outside the Turkish embassy. To be clear, these are not random illegal events. Many don't understand it, but actually these are applications that have been sent into the police where permission has been granted to them in the name of freedom of expression. Back in January, all of the Nordic Jewish communities from Sweden, Denmark, Norway, and Finland put out a statement condemning the action, recalling our tragic history, reminding everyone that such actions are not freedom of expression, rather acts of incitement and hate that threaten the Muslim community. We also, in the statement, clearly stated and re-quoted the Jewish German author who 1 century before the Holocaust forewarned and said, where books burn, people will burn. Since January, there have been a number of follow-up applications that I'm sure you have seen to burn the Quran, the Torah, as well as the New Testament. The Jewish and Muslim leadership have been working closely together through Amana, not only to express solidarity, but work on the ground to prevent these actions. Just in the last month, one of the people who planned to burn the Quran was convinced by the Jewish community not to do so. In two cases, including last Saturday, which was the international headlines that you all followed, we all saw that there was an application and it shook the Jewish world again that a Torah was to be burned. But thankfully, the Muslim leadership stepped forward this time and prevented the Torah, the burning of the Torah, and convinced this person not to go through with it. It was against Islam to do so, and he would be hurting the partners and the partnership that we have. So in this case, what Swedish authorities did not manage to prevent with their law system, the strong work together has shown to be fruitful. But beyond countering hate, these events have shown how working together is not just a nice idea, but for us in Sweden, it's an existential need to work against the threats that we Jewish and Muslim communities face, and we must do so together. Amana, the Muslim-Jewish Partnership for Trust, officially represents the Muslim and Jewish communities in Sweden. In this work, together with my close partner, Imam Salahuddin Barakat, our goal is not only to counter anti-Semitism and Islamophobia, but to raise awareness in society of the polarization and fear that exists for everyone. We hope that our work will show the way forward to create a trusting society in which everyone can feel both safe and appreciated for who they are. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Rabbi HaCohen, and I would like to say that the work that you do with Imam Barakat is exceptional, and we hope that the work that you're going to continue to do will be going across the world, and Amana can turn into a global organization. So thank you for what you say today and the work that you do every day.